go.
Are we live? I'm always the one walking into the stage here.
You say that every time. Do you want me? Let me hold your drink before you sit down.
Up there, nice and solid, not on the tippy table. On the tippy table.
Oh my god! Ah!
Welcome to me awkwardly getting in this chair. Can we talk about this couch?
This couch sucks.
What's the comfort level of this couch?
This couch is awful. Okay. Well, now that I say that, I have to tell the history of this couch.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's start out.
Okay.
First, welcome to Let's Do Something Stupid. And one of the stupidest
No,
things.
God, no. Let me tell the story.
Okay. I think the couch might be part of the stupid story, but all right, let's hear it. Yeah.
What?
Well, how much should you pay someone to move this couch?
Okay, let me tell the story about it. Okay, so I moved into this apartment. In May of last year. And I didn't get a couch. So it was obviously it's a studio and I only have like my bed. And I only had my bed, which is fine, but I needed a couch. And so I looked on the handy dandy Facebook Marketplace and I knew that I wanted a blue velvet couch.
That's what sucked you in right there.
And it needed to be the perfect size for my tiny little studio. And so I went to this girl's house and I walked there, mind you.
Yeah.
I walked there.
You carried it home on your back.
Because I was just going to look at it. No, I just wanted to like sit my ass down on it and make sure
Did you sit in it?
That's the one that I wanted. And so I went to her house and yeah, I went into her house and it was sitting there and I was like, wow, it's beautiful. Like it's even more beautiful in person.
Wait, were you sitting there in this couch? Or
Let me
in some other chair?
Let me tell the story.
Okay.
So I got to her house and I looked at the couch and I was like, wow, it's beautiful. It's even more beautiful in person. Blah, 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 blah. And so I sat down on it and then I like moved sideways to like make sure that like I could fit on it and everything. And I was like, yeah, that's good. It works for me. All right. I will message you later about moving it because at that point I didn't know how I was going to get it here.
Yes.
And so
couches don't move themselves.
So she was just like, well, I can like bring it to you. And no, that's not how that started. I messaged her on Facebook Marketplace and I was like, can I come look at it? And also I'll pay you an extra $100 to deliver it to me.
Nice.
And
you're like the ideal Facebook Marketplace customer.
I know.
I'm gonna
sell
you some stuff on Facebook Marketplace.
I know, but the sad thing is too that she literally like I walked there.
Yeah, so
I can walk to her house from here.
Yeah, you could have put it on a skateboard and brought it home.
Oh yeah, a couch on a skateboard.
Hey man, I've done it. Vertically,
no, you have not.
Sideways. Oh,
actually,
I've moved everything with a skateboard.
I believe you.
Skateboards. I haven't moved it. I haven't not moved a couch blocks. But,
yeah, but then I distinctly remember like messaging you about it and be like, "Hey, can you help me move a couch?" And then you're like, "Yeah, for sure. Like, are we gonna go pick it up?" And I'm like, "No, I'm getting it delivered." And you're like, "Why?"
Yeah, because like, why? If I'm gonna help you move it, like, we might as well move it. I mean, boy.
Yeah.
Financially speaking, retroactively, I wish you would have paid me $100 to move it. That'd be great.
Yeah, honestly, me too.
We'd be mutually beneficial.
I've had this couch for about 8 months, and it's not comfy.
Is it? How's it growing on you?
It's pretty.
Yeah, it looks good in a photo.
Yeah. So anyway, hi, welcome back, guys, to the podcast.
Yes, let's get to it.
This is part 3.
Part 3.
This is part 3.
I can't believe we're on to a 3-part story. What are we talking about?
We're talking all things van life.
Yes, that's right.
Van dwelling, vans, things that we've owned, driven, or tragic stories of the past. But tragic.
Well, tragic's a subjective term.
Some tragedies have happened. But my name is Sarah.
Sometimes things seem tragic in the moment.
I don't think I actually introduced myself the last time.
Yes.
That's fine. My name is Sarah. You guys know who I am.
I'm Jimmy.
And here we are. Okay, so we're starting out. How are we starting out this one?
Well, I mean, we kind of finished off with going over the nuts and bolts of you actually doing real van life last time, which was very interesting and very informative. Lots of details.
Yeah, I think
we got to the pee bottle. I mean, that's what else do we need to know?
You so right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we got deep.
So I feel like this one we wanted to kind of center around you and your experiences with vans and whatnot.
Well, I think what we're gonna kind of go into here is like my experience with like before the term van life.
I know you've said that.
Yeah,
yes.
well, I
Let's
think this
just
is important.
Get into it, man.
Let's just get into it. Yeah.
Explain it. Explain to the
'Cause
people what you mean by that.
I don't know if we should use Wikipedia or some fucking Google search or whatever, but I'm actually very curious. Like, when do you think the term van life became like a like a thing? You know, a thing that was positive, technically, because we all know.
I want to say like
you're aware of the what's that comedian? Big fat guy, funny, super funny. He died down by the river. He like.
Oh my god.
Do you know John?
No. Oh my god. What? Chris Farley.
Chris Farley.
Jesus.
Okay, can you there was an era when living in your van down by the river was a joke that they made fun of on TV, right? And I like to use the term like dirtbag, because like in my era of van life and van adventuring, and when I like to use the word van, I kind of like expansively use that for any vehicle that I'd sleep in, because.
Okay, sorry, I Wikipedia'd it.
Oh, nice. What's the story?
Van dwelling.
Van dwelling. Well, that sounds even. I don't know about that.
Okay, let's see. Van dwelling or van life is an unconventional lifestyle of living in a car, van, or other motor vehicle. A person who lives in such manner, either on a full or part-time basis, is known as a van lifer, van dweller, car dweller, or vehicle dweller. People who live this way by choice are typically seeking a more self-sufficient lifestyle characterized by freedom and mobility. They may perceive it as being less regulated form of housing or one that offers a lower cost of advantage over standard housing, especially in regions susceptible to housing shortages.
Yes.
Other
exactly.
vehicle dwellers may be one step away from living on the street or in a shelter. In the late 2010s, an idealized version was popularized through social media with the hashtag van life, which gained significant momentum during the COVID-19 pandemic.
There it is, like late 2010s to COVID.
Yep.
So my entire childhood / young adulthood, I always wanted to escape, get away, and have somewhere to sleep. And so I've had a super wide variety of sleepable car, van, truck situations. But in that era, like I really wasn't like calling it like van. I definitely the word van life was not a thing. The word dirtbag was definitely a thing. Like, yo, you're the dirtbag kid that like sleeps at the beach to go surfing. You're the dirtbag kid that sleeps at the ski area to go snowboarding. You're the dirtbag kid that sleeps by the skate park. Well, if there was a skate park, whatever. So I'll go back to let's go back to like we've started out with your first van and your first van. My first van, very luckily, shout out grandma, was a hand-me-down from my grandma. I paid her some money for it, like something very reasonable, but it was a GMC Perma Pop Top grandma-style camper. It was freaking awesome, dude. That thing was great. Blue velvet interior, had a fold-down couch bed situation. But unfortunately, what it did not have was heat.
Did it have a TV?
It was of the era that it might have wanted to have a TV, but no, it did not have a TV. It was pretty basic. It was like a pretty sweet van. And I actually really regret getting rid of it, because in retrospect, if I had put a little work into it and upgraded some stuff, it would have been pretty sweet. But at the time, I thought like, oh, this thing sucks. It doesn't have propane, heat, and stove, and it didn't have any of that stuff. But that's kind of rad, because it was super basic. There was really not much for it to go wrong, because it was just like a super comfortable van with super comfy seats and couch and table and closets and stuff. And I love that thing. It was great. But it was in the era of me doing all snowboardy stuff. And, the Mr. Buddy heater, I had the Mr. Buddy heater. You know how this goes. We talked about this about your van. The Mr. Buddy heater just doesn't really cut it.
No.
Yeah, and especially when you're out in like actual winter snow sports type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's survival at the best. It's great. And then also, I think, unfortunately, the other reason I got rid of it, because I had dreams and aspirations of some 4-wheel drive thing because I was towing snowmobiles with it and stuff. And I would talk about sketchy, like a 2-wheel drive van way deep in the woods in the winter, and you're trying to like do a U-turn with a trailer, and then you get stuck, and then you're cold, and then you gotta get unstuck and you get colder. It's just not ideal. Loved that van though.
How long did you have it?
That's kind of a funny. I want to say only a couple, 3 years, maybe. First, I should just let me just in my mind do a quick count of the number of vehicles I've slept in, because this is
All of them?
Yeah, well, all of them, yeah, exactly. But like for me, it started out with a Toyota pickup, long bed, 2-wheel drive, with a canopy, 0 insulation. Brr. We sleep in that in the winter for sure. You snuggle with your buddy. I don't care who your buddy is. There we go. We snuggling. And then I think the upgrade from that was the van. And then I had the van for a while. For some reason I got rid of, at some point I had a VW van. Of course, that was a piece of shit. It's cute though. Cute piece of shit.
What color was it?
Blue. It was really nice.
Blue?
Yeah, like an early 90s version. Not like an 80s one. Just like the straight, not even camper van, but just van.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I had that on my 21st birthday because I remember me and my girlfriend at the time went and got a keg with that, and there's a picture of me and her with a keg in that van. So I can put a timeline on that one.
I have to see that photo.
Oh, it's a pretty good one. It's pretty funny. It's definitely, we crazy. It fit. So then I went through a variety of Subarus, and then eventually I got a 40 Econoline camper van that I flew to California, bought in Sacramento, drove to Fresno to the Sportsmobile factory and pulled up and said, "Hey, will you put a pop top on?" And they're like, "Dude, you got to have this reserved in 3 months in advance." I was like, "But I'm here today." And they were like, okay. And then I hung out on the streets of Fresno for a couple days with my skateboard while they cut a giant hole in the top of the van I had just bought and put the pop top on there.
How did you convince them to do that?
I mean, I think I was just persistent in the fact that I had $4,000 cash and I had driven there and I had nothing else to do. I'm like, well, what do you expect me to do? Make a reservation and never come back?
That's crazy.
I'm either buying this today or it's never happening.
Was that in the 90s?
Yeah, late 90s. Yeah, totally. Zero planning too. Just didn't even I didn't call them in advance and be like, how long does it take to get a pop top put on? I was just I knew their factory was in Fresno, and I found on Craigslist or whatever was available, what internet service to find a car at that time. Found the van, went there, bought it, drove there, was just I'm here. And I literally remember the salesman just being like, "You're fucking kidding." And I'm like, "No, I'm not kidding."
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome though. That thing was cool. Diesel, pop top. But that was straight dream of the 90s biodiesel era where...
yes, I've heard.
So fucking sick, dude. I mean, we were making fucking gas out of French fry grease. It was great, man. It was great, except for it just completely ruined the thing eventually. But it did do 2 or 3 full West Coast trips on straight French fries. So, loved that thing. Loved it. You want to hear some breakdown stories, though? It's got plenty. So that was a camper van. Then I moved on to truck and camper and truck. Yeah. Anyways, I'm a lot of vehicles that I've slept in. But this is all pre-2010. This is all pre the word van life.
Mm-hmm.
So, one, nobody ever thought I was cool for doing it.
Yeah, I feel like
that's the difference. People think you're cool for doing it now. At that point in time, they're like, "You are a fucking dirtbag."
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's the whole part about romanticizing it.
Yeah.
In these past,
which I mean,
well,
social. I guess it's social media. Social media took the dirtbag and turned it into van life.
Well, yeah, but back then, you did it because you couldn't afford other things, and nowadays, you only buy a van if you have a lot of money.
I know. That's what's crazy.
Completely opposite.
It's
now.
completely opposite. It's just literally.
People would make that.
For instance, all the ski area parking lots that I used to sleep in for free.
Yeah, exactly.
They charge you $50 to sleep there now.
Yeah.
It's that's a hotel.
The amount of times that I lived in the van and I would get the fucking joke all the time. When I tell people that I live in a van, they'd be like, "Oh, down by a river," and I'm like, "You guys don't even know." It's
See,
not
that-
even like funny because believe me, if I could find parking by a river, I would be living large. That would be that's ideal.
I can tell you some good rivers to park by. There's some rivers you can.
That's ideal.
It is ideal, but unfortunately, yeah, you'd have to like have the money to be out roaming around down by the river. You can't be down by the river and then work at Starbucks in downtown Seattle. I mean, you could be down by the Duwamish, but that shit's gonna get rough. It's possible, yeah. So that it's just kind of funny because I romanticize van life the same way you do, basically, and I always have. It's always been an escapism.
Same.
It's been an escapism thing. Like, I mean, my first vehicle when I was in high school was like, I want to go. Well, for me, it was like windsurfing down Hood River, surfing at Washington Coast, like things where like it just took. You couldn't do it for the day. You had to fucking sleep somewhere. And I'm not a tent guy. I don't want to put up a tent. So I just like instantly moved into, oh my God, I would sleep I slept at Mount Baker in my 1974 Toyota FJ40. That is not a sleepable car. It's not like, it's like not long enough, not wide enough, not comfortable enough. In no way, shape, or form should you be fucking sleeping in that thing.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, I was like, I'm gonna sleep in this thing. It's awesome. I don't mind like pretzel shape. Pretzel shape at negative fucking 20 degrees. Oh, dude. Man.
Do you feel like you did more van dwelling during the winter time than you did the summer?
No, that's probably 50-50. That's pretty 50-50. I think I more traumatically remember the very cold parts because I did a lot of like cold, sleeping. So you remember those. All the fun times at the beach, like I don't know, man. Those were fun. It was great. I don't remember those as much. I did fun van life down by the river story, Westport, where we went to the beach that one time.
Yeah.
In my era back then, you could buy a Volkswagen van for $800. Yeah. You just 800. This thing's garbage. $800. You're like, awesome. I'm gonna trash that. So me and most of my friends would go through a series of vans that you just use and destroy, right? Which are all now fucking collectible $30,000 vehicles, which is crazy. But also at that point in time, the fucking park system had not been developed, and those dunes of grassland out there, well, there was just brapping 4x4 trails, and you could just brap yourself around wherever the hell you wanted until you got stuck, and that's where you're camping. And that was some epic stoner shit. I'm not gonna lie. It like a generation of stoner van life stuff that's just shall never happen again, because we do have rules and shit now. That's the other thing about van lifing now. Like it's much harder to find like the challenging of like we went through this with you in the city, like free camping, free parking, Unfortunately, most of the places I grew up going and camping for free are now they're dominated by tech bros who live the van life, i.e. they just bought a $200,000 Sprinter and they're going to get like a $40 meal every night. Like it really kind of sucks, dude. It really kind of sucks. Like this is where like I don't want to put down your era of van lifing, but it kind of fucking killed shit,
No, I fully knew that. Like,
and this,
like that's the man. I could go on rants about this too.
Well, that's what we were. That's what we were here for.
Well, because
please,
I always thought that
I come for the rants, dude.
I always thought that when I started to do van life, it was definitely pre-COVID, like pre-COVID when I was doing van life.
So I think when you first got into it, you started. It was a little bit before like the concept of like such remote work by tech fucking nerds. Like what killed it all is like people who make $200,000 a year typing on their computer that can do it with good internet service from their fucking cell phone. Like before that.
Well, I mean, it's just Wi-Fi, the era of digital nomads too.
Yeah, I hate that. Like that, the digital nomad killed the dirtbag. Basically, the digital nomad took all the beauty, and you look at a Patagonia catalog from 1995, and it's full of fucking dirtbags that had no cell phone, no internet, no computer, and no job. And they were out there getting rad and doing things and living that, like, I don't even want to call it van life. They were living dirtbag life and having fun. And then the van life concept came in when people could make money like that, and like really good money. It's like not only were they making money, like all the like just I'd say your dirtbag lifers would, yeah, we made money. You worked at a coffee shop, you worked at the photo lab, you worked at, you had some shitty job that would get you from here to there. But from 2010 onward, and especially after COVID, the van lifers became people who are like, yeah, I work at Amazon and I make $250,000 a year, and I just choose to do this. And therefore, when that influx of people came to all the places, the Yosemites, the whatever, every fun park and everywhere, well, every fun park and everywhere was like, oh, this used to be like free or $20 camping. It's now $75 to park your car here. Ugh. It's kind of infuriating. So it's hard not to be a little bitter about it. But I understand that I can't change the world and it's not going to happen. But it has made it's kind of funny because now, okay, we're going to kind of segue into like, of course I'm still a dirtbag, and of course you're still a van lifer, and we want to go. We're still going.
We're like a perfect mesh of the two.
Yeah.
I got more peeved when I lived in the van. I was doing it full time and I was struggling every day and I was surviving and everything, and I would just get so annoyed when the van life hashtag came up and everything. Like you would search it and it would be the same.
I mean, I joked about this right off the bat. I was like, when we talked about, I remember this when I said this in I think version 1 of this podcast, when I was like, oh, and you got the van life, and obviously you went to every national park right off the bat and you videotaped yourself like walking down there to the beautiful lake by yourself, right? And you're like, no I didn't do that.
No.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. Goals.
Yeah. It just.
I mean, wouldn't you, as a survivor van life person, be super annoyed by? I mean, but the funny thing is, you never really bumped into it because you didn't really take it out to like. I bump into it because I will.
Wow, thanks.
Well, no, I mean, but you
didn't go anywhere.
Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
It was mostly just like the definitely the romanticizing of it, because van life is not just about going to like the really fucking cool views, and people think that we like sleep with the Rocky Mountains in the background every single night and like beaches and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like that 100% of the time. And that's just something that like social media does to it anyway. But it would just make me
I'd say even the best of social media van life girls, they spend a good amount of time in truck stops too.
Exactly.
They just don't like talk about that part,
It's just like when I was living in the van full time, it was really hard for me to relate to other van lifers because nobody else was doing it like I was.
No.
Like the amount of like city dwellers that I would find are the people who cannot find housing and who are, less fortunate than
especially
me.
in the city of Seattle that, in my lifetime went from being like a completely like kind of affordable place to live to being somewhere that's like literally impossible to survive.
Yeah.
Mostly. That's the straight up truth. Van lifing van living became a different necessity here. But then for instance, for me, going to ski areas like Bend, Oregon, beautiful place. Used to be able to park in the camping lot or in the parking lot of that ski area. No charge, free, go park in the back. Awesome. They had bathrooms and stuff. You go in the morning, maybe you buy a lift ticket or whatever you do to go snowboarding. Well, that's like, now it's $50 a night. And so like, I don't relate with the people there either. You go there and you park, and I'll park my truck, like my last truck that had like my home built camper on the back.
I know. Well, I would just be like, Oh, I was so judgy when I lived in the van too, because I would see like these Sprinter vans, and I'd be
Yeah,
like, oh, these
you're in
fucking
Seattle.
these bougie people who can stand up in their van and who have like they have solar power and they have they have a shower and they have a fridge. They don't know what it's like to really live van life, and also
No,
they are not doing it full time either. They're taking their vans out on the weekends and going on their little fucking vacations and shit. They don't know what real van life is.
no.
And I just kind of laugh at that now.
Well, so like I have to say, like, what I was getting at, like, I still go to that same ski area, but now I know that I got to drive like 15 miles down the road to the snowmobile parking lot, and that's where the real vanners are staying now. That's where the schoolies are.
Yeah.
That's where the people like we got pushed out of the good spot, but we ain't gonna be defeated. But we're just like, you had to find like the next spot down the road. Like at every ski area up and down the West Coast, like they used to be able to be right there, and that was cool. But
Yep.
now it's only those people. Now it's the
Yeah.
fucking recreational sprinters with, oh, I just built my Earth Roamer. I spent $300,000 on this truck. I drove it from San Francisco. I'm
Yeah.
like,
But I
what pothole
definitely-
did you drive over to need that? I don't know.
I definitely feel like my view on like van life and van living has definitely changed since I have not lived in the van, you know?
Well, I mean,
As far as that
do you
goes.
mean?
Because now I'm like anytime that I speak negatively towards like a van life or something that I see like out in the world, where I'm just like, oh, that's a bougie camper and everything.
oh, it's so easy to
I'm
do.
just jealous.
I know. I'm jealous
like,
too.
I want one.
Dude, my friend runs a company where he builds them, and I love my friend, and he builds amazing things.
and I think it's cool.
But I'm jealous too. But I'm never gonna get a $180,000 Sprinter van.
Never say never, man.
I did buy a lottery ticket tonight.
You
so,
did.
psh.
But I think I don't know.
I'm gonna pledge though, right here on air in person, that even if I win the lottery, I'm not getting a $180,000 Sprinter van. I might.
You
Add.
can get me $180,000 Sprinter van.
Okay.
You heard
Damn.
it here.
And then you give me a ride everywhere, and I'll just passenger princess my way away.
All right.
Okay,
Can
there
do.
we go. All right, that sounds good. First off, lottery winning. So, barring that, though, I'm still into dirt bagging. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to say I'm into full-time van lifing. I'm not really sure. At this point in time, I need the full-time van life, but I still need to take like every absolute hour I have not at my job to be like out on some sort of adventure. And therefore, that's
yeah.
where the dirt bagging comes in. I really can't afford to go stay in a hotel every weekend. I can't
Yeah.
afford to go. And this is what it's always been for me. It's always been a way to live above my means in the adventure world, I guess I'd say.
Yeah.
I've been an expert at living above my means in the adventure world, and like that's where dirt bagging with some sort of camper vehicle is different than van lifing. It's
For sure.
and
What do you view what you're doing now?
what do you mean? Like, well, the van I'm building now. Okay,
Yeah.
so the van I'm building now obviously has many years of experience of what I want in a van and what it takes to be comfortable in a van. But of course, I still am doing it like the cheapest way possible. But I am actually at my, I feel like at this point in my life, I deserve to be like reasonably comfortable. So we're building a van that's better, but it's still not a $180,000 Sprinter van. It's a $25,000 van with everything in it,
Mm-hmm.
And I will argue self-built, bought this van 15 grand, used from a union electrician. Hopefully it'll run for a while. I think it's going to be good, but about $5,000-$6,000 build out plus all taxes and shit.
And when did you buy this van?
Exactly. What's math? Ooh, I don't know my months. 6 months ago, about 6 months ago, 7
Yeah,
months
you bought
ago?
it in
End of August. End of August. It's now the beginning of
August
February.
2024.
Yeah.
And you built it out pretty quickly.
Well, because I wanted to go on adventures right away.
Yeah.
I'm
And we have gone
making
on
payments on that thing right away.
many adventures.
Yeah, it's
So pretty
great.
much, I mean, that's like, that just like, it definitely revived my love for van life,
I know.
definitely.
Yeah.
And it's definitely kind of like reignited the flame for it.
Well,
for
of course, because
sure.
I mean, let's be honest. You sold your dream van of build under duress. That was a sale under duress is the best I could say. You didn't really want to give it up. You were
No.
just circumstantially forced to give it up. And that, that didn't kill the dream. That just like paused the dream.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, now we're building a van that's like, it's a good happy medium, man. It's
Mhm.
comfortable. It's got mad solar power. It's got heat.
I love that van.
Yeah, me too. Cause like it's got the stuff that functionally makes it very, very usable. And on the dirtbag tactic, still looks like an electrician van.
It does.
So I'm still advocating for my electrician logo, which I haven't put on the van, but Sparky's
You
got to
really
go.
wanna- you really want to do that?
Oh, because I like it when it's parked and people think it's not a, because when you park a Sprinter
no,
van,
I know. I mean the logo thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like you want to put a
I do.
logo on it.
Yeah, I love stickers, and I want to make a.
Stickers.
How many different funny names have we come up for it? Oh man, I should have had this in my notes. Not that I have notes.
I
Actually.
think it should have been a plumber van.
A plumber van. Yeah, give me some funny plumber
Jimmy's
names.
Pipe Dreams.
Yep, Jimmy's Pipe Dreams
I
right
think
there.
It's hilarious.
1-800-GOT Pipe.
Got pipe.
Take that as you will. When you see Jimmy's Pipe Dream parked down by the river, don't give me too much shit. Just realize I'm trying to have a good time, and I don't want to pay for it. So
Yeah, so we've taken that van on a lot of trips. Do you want to say our first trip that we took with the van?
oh boy, do I want to?
I took like as soon as we bought the van, I took Jimmy to go see Dave Matthews Band at the Gorge.
Dream trip on your part.
100%.
Cultural experience that I was unaware of on my part.
It was so
Which-
good because it was like you had just gotten the van, so there was barely anything in it.
There was a
like,
bed.
There was a comfy bed.
Yeah, that's job number one
Yeah,
right there. Everything
so
else is secondary
comfy.
to that.
But like it was so hot that day. It was a
Yeah.
Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, no fan.
And there was no fan in it yet. There
No.
like we just sat in the
No insulation.
we just sat like out in
There's a
the
tin box.
fields waiting to go into the show with just like all of the doors wide open and
Which was awesome. That
it
was hella fun.
It was so fun.
And side note,
But that was
I had no idea who Dave Matthews was, which is
I know.
very strange.
I know you can just
Yeah. It was great though. I had a
full
good
disclaimer.
I had a good time. Very
I'm
nice
glad you-
people there.
Yes. For sure.
Mhm.
But that weekend too. And then after the show we drove out and we stayed
What was the next weekend?
no, like that weekend.
Oh, that
like
weekend. Yeah,
right
yeah.
after the show.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That was the first trip in it.
and it was beautiful. Like where we parked, it was beautiful.
I think I literally bought it like 5 days before.
Yeah.
Something stupid like that. Like really.
You bought what?
The van.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, the van was like
Yeah.
it was not like
But then
2
we woke
weeks
up the
before.
next morning and we had like this beautiful view of like a canyon, and Jimmy was doing like yoga out during the sunrise. And
Dude,
it
that
was
was
very,
sick.
it was very like this is what van life is,
It
and it was
literally-
so fun.
It literally for me, okay, let's be honest. I'm broke, was broke. Decided to buy this van completely on credit because fuck it. I want to go, I want to have fun. Life is short. We're going to go for it. And it was definitely like on that definitely like I was in the buyer's remorse level of like holy shit, what did I just do? But I will say that very first morning, you're right. That first morning was like, well, the first afternoon we got out there, hung out at the show, chilled. That was awesome. So that was really good. But you're right. Waking up the first morning
Mm-hmm.
with that sunrise, that like late August, Eastern
Yeah.
Washington, yummy warmth.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
And even just like
that was
rolling
it
out of
right there.
like waking up and like some random beautiful spot, like, and we weren't
Free,
even like,
by the way.
yeah, we
dirt
weren't
bagging.
in any like park or anything. We were literally on
Nope.
the side of the road.
A nice road to nowhere, though.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
like it was beautiful. And we woke up early because we had to go to work.
Oh my God, I forgot. We did have to go to work right there. That was
We
a
went to
serious
work
choice.
that day.
Can we talk about left turn, right turn? How many times have we had this
Wait,
discussion with the van
let me
already?
finish my
Yeah.
story though. But we literally woke up in like the most beautiful and like I just remember the feeling that I had that morning of like waking up kind of early, rolling out of bed in like, late summer and like brushing my teeth with like a water bottle and just opening the door and like seeing you in the distance doing yoga and like during the sunrise. And then you getting back in the car and us driving somewhere to like get coffee early in the morning and like getting ready in a Starbucks bathroom. And I'm just like, I
You're
fucking
back.
miss
You're like,
this.
the getting ready in the
This-
Starbucks bathroom was like,
This is what I'm made for. And
Yep,
God, and I still miss it every single day.
I know it's been like 3 weeks since we went anywhere. That's crazy.
I know.
That's we're gonna fix that soon. But
But I love that shit.
it is really cool that like how instantly, I think both of us fell back in love with that mission because I'll be okay. Because just backstory, the reason I freaked out and bought this van is because my previous truck camper, which I had built this home job, super, like,
It was very cool.
it was very cool, but it was like
It was
we'll,
janky.
we'll call it a boys camper.
Yeah, for sure.
It was definitely, no girls allowed.
Yeah.
It was very utilitarian, but goddamn, that thing was comfy. I'm no joke. We
Mm-hmm.
camped in like frigid midwinter in that thing in deep Canada, and it was warm and toasty and awesome. But a little dirtbaggy. Little being the emphasis that it was more kind of a lot dirtbaggy. But it was functional. It was insulated and it was waterproof and it had a heater and it had a stove and it looked like shit. But unfortunately, it was also attached to a truck that had died because COVID, it sat for so long. And so it was just, I had gone, I think actually that period of time was the longest between so let's say COVID happened, whatever. That's the longest period of time in my life that I've gone without having some sort of dedicated camping vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like dedicated camping vehicle where I'm like, like I said, I've never full-time said, I live in this van. It's my full-time thing. But that said, my entire life, I spent like half of my time out adventuring, half to more kind of, And so that was, it's actually great to remember that weekend because I think, and actually, it's great to remember the 6 months or so before that. Backstory, Sarah and I work together. We have a job. We have real jobs. It's amazing. People pay us for doing things. And part of the getting paid to do things is a lot of standing around with free time with a computer in front of you. And so for the last 6 months, I had known that you were super into the van life thing.
No, literally,
I had
how we
heard-
began was literally like Jimmy finding out that like I used to live van life and me figuring out that he's always owned a van. And we're just like, you and you. Oh, this is going to work out. We're going to hang out a lot.
Well, and also, don't remember, I would just be on the computer every day, like, oh, let me help you buy a new one. I was like searching
literally.
Craigslist, searching Facebook
And,
Marketplace.
oh my God, we found the
every day.
most
I'm like,
perfect van that I am still mad about.
God, the
Way
price-
back when
yeah,
we
that
were
one was
looking
pretty
at it,
sweet.
it was like this. It was a ProMaster, and it was like a kind of newish one, and it had pre-installed windows in it and electricity.
It had electricity,
Through
not
it.
solar power, but it had like
No,
shore power.
It had shore power. Yeah,
which I don't
oh,
have
it was
yet.
so good. Oh.
And here I was trying to talk her into buying it on her own credit card because she's a
I
strong,
applied-
independent
I
woman.
applied for a loan. I got
She's-
approved and
she's
everything.
strong. You
and I
did,
just-
didn't you?
Yeah, I got pre-approved.
Man,
yeah.
I'm such a arbiter of bad ideas. I
Yeah.
was just like,
But then we actually went like legit van shopping, and we went around and we toured a couple vans.
but let's go back. Oh man, how spicy we get on this podcast. I don't know. At that point in time, we were definitely not a thing for sure. And I was definitely like, oh yeah, you love van life. You need a van. You should get this. That's awesome. You and your boyfriend would love this. You should get that van. You should get that guy to fucking drop in with you on that van. You
No
should
chance.
go. So, we spent like 6 months of me being bored at work, basically.
For sure, yeah.
Like just like salivating over the idea of getting out on adventure life. And for me, adventure life involves like big sailboats or vans. And like, so I was kind of fluctuating, like, oh, you buy a van, I'm going to buy a sailboat. I'm going to, blah, blah, blah. But every day at work, I'm just constantly searching for deals on next adventure vehicle because I've been without that vehicle for, a period of time from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
COVID messed up my adventure life like quite a bit. And so by the time it got around to like August, when I finally, and then we went van shopping. We went van shopping for you once again.
Yeah.
And I had never driven a Dodge Ram ProMaster. I'll be honest, I was a little biased against them because I thought they were kind of lame because the Dodge Ram line of vehicles kind of has a negative connotation to me in one sense. And I didn't really like it. And then we went and test drove that one.
So fun.
Fuck. How long after you drove that one did I buy one? What?
Like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
probably.
like 3 weeks. Because I was just like, as soon as we test drove it, I was like, fuck.
Then we were just like,
one.
we were religiously online trying to find one. And we would spend our weekends like trying to book, like, can we come see your van? Hey, can we come see your van? And that's just what we did on our weekends for a couple weeks.
Remember your interaction with, what was his name? The guy.
I don't even remember his name.
Where was he from? Utah? No. I don't know. We found some van that once again I was like, oh, you should buy this. It's perfect for you because some dude apparently was like, I'm a full-time van builder. I buy these
flip vans all the time. This is like my 48th build. Whatever, dude.
Jank. He just
ghosted me.
Well, he just ghosted you.
We drove all the way down.
His van was janky, and
we drove all the way down to Tacoma, and like we had planned that we were gonna go look at it. We spent a
day to go see this.
And I was just waiting for him to like message me back to let us know when we could go see it. And we were hanging out in Tacoma, which was fine because like we were riding our bikes around Tacoma and stuff, and we were like
still a fun day, but that was whack.
But like, and then I'd be like, hey, like it's at this time, can we come look at the van? And then he just like wasn't messaging me back. He's like, oh, today's actually not a good day. I'm like actually not in Tacoma today. And I'm like, what? And so it was just like this whole
basically it was a bait and switch catfish situation.
It was.
Where this guy was I don't know if he was pretending to sell a van, maybe he was gonna sell the van, whatever. He claimed to be some super van builder, and if you zoomed in on the pictures, dude, this guy's crap was
the build
garbage.
was really, really bad.
And he wanted a lot of money for it. Man, I'm so glad that fell through.
Same.
But that experience of that falling through just fucking galvanized me even more. And I was I just have to have one. So that led me to finding the construction van, like the straight up, I live in West Seattle. This is from a union electrician shop in Soto, where I was like, oh man, these are like, because it's a union place. They bought it new, did the maintenance. Yeah, it's kind of beat up, but it's been maintained. And so I think that was a great find.
I know. I remember you like texting me and being like, I did it. And I'm like, what?
You did what?
You're like, I bought a van. And you sent me a picture of it.
I rode my bike downtown and put it in a van that I just bought.
Oh my God, yeah. And you sent me a picture of the van, and I was like, wait, you bought that?
Yeah, I bought that.
You really did it.
I did it, yeah.
You really dropped in.
But,
yeah.
Best decision ever, man.
Yeah, and then we spent the rest of the summer into the fall just building it out. And
camping in it every week, too.
And still camping in it.
I mean, it just got better and better. Like, so we camped. That first show was definitely like a bed and nothing else.
Yeah.
And that was fine because it was summer. It was hot out. And then,
well, on your birthday in September, we took it on a pretty rad trip. We went camping, and that was when it was starting to come together too. Yeah.
And then after that, now it's it's still not.
And then we're like, okay, before it gets really cold, we need to install windows.
That's right.
And cut holes in it and stuff.
Yeah, I will say there's stress in like having a large loan payment on a vehicle you don't own and using a Sawzall on it.
Yeah, you really did that.
I really did that, and it definitely was.
But it was a day. Cool.
Now you got fan, 3 windows chilling, and basically what I'm talking about is no regrets. This thing's fucking awesome, dude. It's like not paid for, but we're back in the game.
Yeah.
We're back in the van. We're back in the dirtbag / van life game.
What does the future hold with vans and van dwelling and stuff?
I mean, dude, I already like reserved like multiple campgrounds next summer. It involves like I said, basically like I've never been able to. Well, not that I've never been able to. I just have never said I'm a full time van liver, but I have always been a full time. Like I am not at work today. I am going on XYZ vacation adventure, and can I afford it? No, of course not. But I'm going anyways, and so that's always been the purpose of van, camper car, camper truck for me, and that's still the purpose. So I'm just ready to. I'm just excited to go hard again and just do as many miles as I can, go as many places as I can, and wake up as many cool places as I can that are not my home. You know, like
For
I love
sure,
my home, I love your home, and I love my job, and I tell them I will come back um, until I win the lottery. But you know, I just want to go hard. There's so many things to do. And that's what I always say about like, you know, I grew up in Washington and Oregon, and I love Washington and Oregon. I love Canada. And the best thing about our region is that like I feel like I've been going hard on this my whole life, and I've just scratched the surface of fun things to do. So, you know, just I wish I could say I was going full van life and like retiring and leaving and touring the country. You know, that's not really possible right now.
Yeah.
Because I still got to pay for it. But definitely going to use the heck out of it. Definitely going to like, I just, you know, name an adventure. I'm down.
I 5-year plan in a van.
5-year plan.
So I'm definitely
Putting it on tape.
I'm gonna buy a van and I'm gonna live in a van full time in the next 5 years.
I'll never see you again.
That's not true. But that's my ultimate like plan and goal. I never thought that when I sold Rose that was the end of it, you know? Cuz
Are you embarrassed to live in an apartment?
I'm not embarrassed. No, I'm very grateful.
Okay.
So for my time in an apartment.
Nice.
It's just not something that I want to keep doing.
Right.
Because I love this apartment so much, but I love van life more. I do.
Well,
And I love all the ventures that we're taking with your van too. Like it just makes me want to have my own even more.
we're gonna have a small fleet.
Yeah, we're gonna have a caravan.
Yeah. I'll tell you about my friend. My friend did that. He was pretty rad. A friend of mine was a badass Volkswagen mechanic, and he ran this business for years where he bought like 12 Volkswagen camper vans, and he just fix them up and rent them out all the time. I was like, that was so cool. I think it went bad in the end, but you know, like,
yeah. So
turns out Volkswagen vans, even if you're the Volkswagen mechanic, they still suck.
Yeah. But ultimately, like the future with this podcast is we want to take it remote, and we want to take, especially when it starts to get warmer outside, we want to like record outside and like take you guys with us on all of our adventures.
I forgot about that. We are actually doing a podcast, and it's full of stupid things, and like this is the beginning of stupid things. This is actually fun to talk about now that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Wow, how did we think of this? But yeah. You know, we need to take these stupid things on the road.
Yeah, and I would love to make like this setup like much smaller too.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to.
Yeah,
yeah,
but it'll be fun.
I think that the goal for this next 6 months for me is to just because this thing ain't gonna be paid for. I just want to use the bulk out of it. You know? Like I want to go. I'm every weekend, every time we can take away, we're gonna go do something. I mean, we should get a little. You know, I in preparing for this podcast, we probably should have put a checklist down of like how many adventures we've gone on already, but it's a fairly good number.
Yeah, we've done a lot.
Yeah, so I'd like to just continue that, basically.
Yeah, we're definitely going to continue that, and we have plans to go on a really long road trip back home for me to Colorado this summer.
Which I want to take the stupidest long route possible.
Yeah,
like I really think that like. I think my aspirations are always bigger than my budget or my time frame, but like you need
for sure.
there's a lot of road you gotta we gotta hit. You can't just go the direct route.
No, yeah.
That's backup only, you know?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Lots
Well,
of plans.
Yeah,
already.
lots of plans. So it's good that I think it's fun talking van life with you. It's fun talking the differences between, I mean, I don't think we have a disagreement. We just came into the game at different times.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like you came
Mhm.
into the time where van life was like literally like just this like golden fucking thing on a hill. Like it's like so idealized and just like, van life. It's amazing. Whereas I came into a time where it was just like, you're sleeping in a van down by the river. What are you doing? Um, it's both things.
It is both things.
That's the great. It is both things.
Mhm.
And we can take it as it is. Like maybe, sometimes it'll be a little dirtbaggy. Sometimes we get to stay at the fancy place.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
That's the best thing, because one of the greatest feelings I think about van life is always like, the main thing is like you're always just ready to go anywhere,
yeah.
But I think one
Like
of the
right now.
best feelings is like when you are in the van and like you are living in it full time, I guess. Like for me, when I was like in Rose and everything, one of the best feelings I had all the time was like I could literally go anywhere and I will never feel like I'm missing anything.
No, you had coffee. You had all your shit.
I had everything that I owned
Yeah.
with me.
I mean, I will aspirationally say that like I would like to get rid of most things I own and be down to that level of let's go.
Me too.
Yeah, because like the materialistic world we live in, my biggest fucking anchor weight is like collectible things,
For sure.
that are just
yeah.
like I got a record collection. It's awesome. I don't want to lose it, but I also could put it in a closet and not see it for 10 years, and that'd be fine too.
Yeah.
So it's fun to like pare down to having the van. Well, then there's this apocalypse thinking. Come on, gotta be ready to go. Just
Of course,
like,
yeah.
just like I like to have a van that's got like food in it and clothes in it and water in it and
Mhm.
a heater in it. Like we don't have to stay here. We can leave. It's awesome. We can go anytime we want.
Mhm.
Maybe we will quit our jobs tomorrow. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Not yet.
Not yet. No. Careful. It's all about that lottery ticket. We know it. But I think that the fun thing is that we've both agreed that we're into some version of doing as much van life as we can.
For sure.
And doing this stupid podcast, it's kind of funny because I think that's going to go well together. And we're going to take this stupid podcast to the road. So now we've kind of cleared the air on this van life idea, and you can expect to hear more stupid podcasts from more stupid places about more stupid things. And that is the stupid plan. And I love this stupid plan.
I love this stupid plan too.
It's a great stupid
I'm
plan.
glad that we started this, and yeah,
It's fun.
it is fun.
Well, I don't know. I think we're about ready to wrap this one up.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, it's been a good talk. It's been a
It
good talk.
has, Yeah,
I feel like
we
I did say that originally. I was like, "Oh, van life, we gotta do 6 episodes." But I think
we could very easily talk about.
we might have
this
to
for a
have
very
like
long time.
more episodes later. about-
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're gonna be recording episodes in the van.
yeah. We should actually put a note on it that we're gonna like revisit the topic of just general vanning like next fall or something. Like
Yeah,
6 months
for
from now,
sure.
and be like, let's
could check
revisit.
in.
Like, yeah, did that fucking cool van I bought for cheap? Did it break down and did it? Like, are we?
Did I actually find Rose's location?
Ooh.
Dun, dun,
Shout out. We're
dun.
looking for Rose. Like if you see it on the street, I'm sure you're going to post some
She's a
photos of it.
1995 Chevy G20
G20. What color?
maroon,
Maroon. Yeah.
burgundy.
Once had Washington
white.
license plates.
Mm-hmm.
Once lived on Bainbridge Island.
Mm-hmm.
Where did it go when you left it?
Squim.
Squimp. So still on the peninsula.
Still on the peninsula.
Probably under a tree.
Yeah.
Yep. So if anybody sees it, we'd love pictures. That'd be
Mhm.
great. Send
Yeah,
us
tag
Send
she
us-
does have her own hashtag, by the way. Hashtag Rosita the van.
Oh yeah.
If you look that up on Instagram,
side
you can
story.
see photos of her.
Side story. Did I ever tell you the story when me and Indy were going to the Mount Baker Hot Springs about the girl in her van life?
You did tell me this,
Yeah.
yes.
What was her van life name? It was actually really scary because obviously it was another young woman out in her van lifing it, and she had got herself stuck way out in the woods. And of course, we were like Subaru 4x4 and around her, and we were like knocked on her window, and we were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And there was nobody there. So, van life comes with its dangers.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for listening, guys.
Okay.
We're signing
Side story. Good night. Goodbye.
Yeah, thanks
Happy
for
day.
listening to Let's Do Something Stupid. We'll see you
Yeah.
on the next episode.
If you'd like to do something stupid with us, let us know. We're
Let us
always
know.
looking for guests in stupid projects,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Send postcards, pictures, stupid ideas, actually.
Yeah. Send
Like,
us stupid ideas.
We should
what
be.
What do you guys want to hear us talk about?
Yeah. What stupid things should we talk about?
Or do.
Never know. All right. Well, we'll find out next time because we have no idea what the next episode will be.
Yep.
But it'll be coming to you shortly. So.
All right. Bye.